Tony Perkins is president of the Family Research Council, and he joins me now. Tony, the question was asked, do you think an elected official who commits an immoral act in their private life can still behave ethically and fulfill their duties in their public and professional life? In 2011, that number was 44% amongst religious folks, and now it's 61%. In fact, 70% for Republicans. Has the world turned upside down, or is this a move in the right direction?
Well, I don't think it's a move in the right direction. I think it shows we have moral schizophrenia, that somehow we think that what we do in private, what we say in private, what we think in private has no implications about what we do or on what we do in public. And I think it very much does. It is a false dichotomy. Look, integrity is the definition of integrity is a completeness, a wholeness. And if we want integrity, we have to expect private behavior to match public behavior. Now, that said, I do think that the core teaching of Christianity is the idea of forgiveness. We all have a past, but we all have the possibility of a future. So forgiveness is one thing, but accepting ongoing behavior, that's problematic for us as a society.
Okay, so that's the dividing line, because in this survey, 72% of white evangelicals, up 42 points in the last 5 years, say that this is not a deal breaker, so to speak. But the nuance of it to you that you're explaining to us is that we're talking past behavior versus current behavior. Is that where we need to really delineate this thing?
Well, I'm speaking from a theological standpoint as a Christian. We are to forgive as we're forgiven. And what someone has done in the past does not define who they're going to be in the future. However, if they have chosen a lifestyle or chosen certain behaviors that are immoral, and they say, well, that's my private life, has nothing to do with what I do in public. That's my personal view. Look, there is no firewall between that. That's a foreign concept to think that somehow we can wall off what we do in private and it not influence what we do in public. It's going to come out. If we want men and women of integrity, we've got to have that completeness, right, knowing what they do in public is exactly what they do in private.
You know, the act of forgiveness is very powerful. It actually helps the person who forgives as much as the person who's receiving that gift, if you will. Is there anything disingenuous then for someone to look at perhaps this political campaign and forgive one candidate's indiscretions and say, but I won't forgive the other candidates? I mean, is there a way of choosing that? If you're going to forgive, how do you decide when and how to do that?
Well, the key to forgiveness is a recognition of a need for forgiveness. And when an individual, whether they're a candidate or not, says, I've done wrong and I ask for forgiveness or I apologize for what I do, you know, we have to forgive. Now, again, if this is an ongoing problem, we need to use wisdom and understanding and prudence as voters to vote for candidates that we do not think are going to repeat behavior that's destructive both personally and to us as a society and a country. But where we're at right now, we have two candidates that have character issues. And so we've got to take it to the next level as an evangelical, as Christians, in integrating our faith with our public walk, is look at where they stand on the policies. What do they advocate, and how do those policies line up with biblical teaching and truth? And so that's where we go in this election, because we have two candidates who, quite frankly, have issues when it comes to character.
Yeah, Tony Perkins, you're one of my favorites. I appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Great to be with you, Charles. Have a good weekend.